I haven't prepared anything because I thought it's just good for me to just, just talk.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. For the people who don't know you, who are you and what do you do for the Tudor Society?
Okay, well, I'm Claire Ridgway, and well, these days I call myself a historian because I've spent quite a few years studying history now. So I'm a historian, researcher, author, specialising in Tudor history. And I've been on a bit of a journey, really. It was Anne Boleyn, really, who sparked off my interest in Tudor history. And that was in 2009. And then in 2014, I founded the Tudor Society. So I'm its creator and founder. I run it along with Tim and a team of others as well, such as yourselves.
And what is the Tudor Society exactly?
Okay, the idea behind the Tudor Society was, it came into being because through running the Anne Boleyn files and kind of joining the online Tudor history world, I'd seen that there were lots and lots of people in sort of the US, in Australia, Canada. They were out of the UK, and I was forever sharing about historians doing talks at, Hampton Court Palace and in London. And they were always saying, oh, I wish, that's my bucket list. I'd love to hear that historian talk and ask questions. And I thought, as someone that was living in Spain as well, and I do all of my research from Spain, or the majority of my research, I was thinking, well, it would be so good if we could actually use the online world, not only for research, but to connect historians and authors to Tudor history lovers, so that people in Australia and America and that they aren't missing out. So I wanted to create this online portal, this kind of community of Tudor history lovers and historians and authors, experts and fans, really. So that was kind of my thinking behind it. And also the fact that magazines as well, I was subscribed to various history magazines. And as a Tudor history lover, I was always leafing through them trying to find the Tudor article, because that was my love. And some months there wouldn't be anything Tudor in it, and I think, oh well, that it's really interesting learning about the Stuart period or whatever, but it's not my love. So for Tudor history lovers, Tim and I also wanted to create a Tudor history focused magazine, so that every page is Tudor history focused, because I know how much people love Tudor history. So that was the idea behind it. And also it was a way of supporting authors and historians too, by bringing them in front of their fans, and also, actually paying them, contributing to them. So that was the kind of idea behind it, sort of making a community, and it sort of grew from there, really.
So is that why you started the Tudor Society, just so all the information was in one place and you could connect like the whole world, basically?
Yeah, because not only could I share historians talking, which, people could do, video a historian speaking in London and share that. I wanted people to actually have the opportunity of asking questions in a live setting. So, the live chats, we have the expert historian sharing their knowledge, but then we also have a chat room where there's a live chat, and that historian is there in the chat room for you to ask your question and get it answered in real time. And that's just lovely. We have such fun with the live chats. We go off at tangents as well. But yeah, it's just lovely to be able to grill these historians and just find out more about the topic, and also about their work as well, and get to know them. But yeah, it's become a community. Real friendships have been made through it as well. It's lovely.
Yeah, that's really good. And what's the most fun thing from the entire society? Like, what makes it so exciting to work for it?
Well, for me, it's getting to know other Tudor history fans, because sometimes you can feel quite isolated. You know, in my family, I can't talk to the children about Tudor history because their eyes just glaze over and they're not at all interested. And so it's just having, especially with the live chats, it's having that opportunity. They're an hour long, to talk Tudor to your heart's content, to people that really understand your passion and are willing to listen to you and to answer your questions and to pose questions and to debate topics. And it's just, yeah, the live chats are really good fun, really, really good fun. But yeah, over the years, people, the same people come to the chats each month and they've got to know each other. It's lovely.
And do you have any dreams for the Tudor Society? Any future dreams?
To take over the world.
Just to keep growing. The past 12 months has been rather interesting with the pandemic, but that has made me see that the Tudor Society is so important, because people can't get places. People have got, they want to go to London to visit places, and they can't at the moment. We're so restricted. So you have to get your Tudor history fix online, looking at photos, sort of virtual tours and reading about these places. And you can't get to hear people speak. And so the online world, I think, has become so important, because of restrictions and that. But also some people just can't get out anyway. We've got quite a few people that are housebound. And so, it's really important for them to have this online community of people that they can learn from and chat to.
Yeah, that's a good dream and a good goal.
Yeah.
Why should people sign up?
Well, they should sign up for the 14-day free trial and give it a go. 14 days of browsing the society. Now, we've got archives going back to 2014, so I'm not quite sure how many magazines that is. I think it's getting up to 90 magazines, and all the expert talks going back to, I think our first one was in September 2014. So there's so much, especially now with perhaps you're not working and you're at home. You can do Tudor history to your heart's content because there are so many archives and that. And just, I love, the community to grow. It's just so lovely seeing people join and welcoming new people into it. It's always fresh that way. You've always got new people with new interests and new specialisms coming in. So yeah. Oh, I'd have to say Elizabeth I. Absolutely adore Elizabeth. She's that iconic queen, such a strong woman. And I've got her collected works, and I just love reading her speeches and her letters and her poems. She was an amazing ruler, but she was an amazing woman as well. So definitely that Virgin Queen, Gloriana, Good Queen Bess. She's my favourite. Oh, that's such a tough one. Anne Boleyn, I think. Definitely. She's the one that's always held my affection and my interest. Her story is so dramatic. Her dramatic rise, her dramatic fall, and again, a strong woman like her daughter. So yes, Queen Anne Boleyn's my favourite. Am I allowed to actually have a bit of a dinner party rather than a cup of tea with one? Because I'd really like to have Anne Boleyn, George Boleyn, and Thomas Wyatt, actually. I think that would be, I'd probably get lost in their conversations. I'd probably just sit back and let them converse, because I think they're so intellectual and so witty and charming that I think I'd just sort of serve the food and then just sit back and listen to them. So yeah, I can't choose one. If I had to choose one, it would be Anne Boleyn, definitely. But her and her brother and poet Thomas Wyatt, I think, would be a really good, entertaining dinner party. They could read poetry. Definitely the bee necklace. I've worn a replica hood, and it's just really annoying, actually. I just couldn't cope with that on all the time. So definitely Anne's bee necklace. Yeah, not the uncomfortable hood. Ooh, well, definitely Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth, because she's my heroine. But yeah, Mary. I think it's lovely that Mary's getting rehabilitated, but I think she'd be quite a difficult person. While Elizabeth would be difficult as well, but I think I prefer to be friends with Elizabeth. Definitely Hever Castle. Hever Castle is my home from home. Dr. Owen Emerson, who's castle supervisor there, is always messaging me, telling me that Hever Castle's waiting for me to come home. Because I was supposed to, have been there last year on tour and that. So, yeah, Hever Castle, I love it. I love both of them. But for me, Hever, because it's so small, it's really intimate. But with all these historical places, you really are only kind of separated from these people, these historical people, by time. And I get a real sense of Anne Boleyn and the Boleyns when I'm at Hever, and I'm sort of touching pieces of wall and thinking Anne might have touched that as she turned the corner or came down the steps. So although it's changed, I just get that feeling of intimacy and closeness with the Boleyn family. And Hever's just gorgeous. It's out of this world stunning. But so is Hampton Court. But I like the intimacy of Hever.